Hey guys, how's it going? It's Nathan here. Well, fun fact, can you guys guess how old these air purifiers are? Well, are they 100 years? 50 years? Try less than 25 years. It's craziness. So in 1998, the company by IQ Air made the first commercially available high-end air purifier, and over the years they got smaller, more efficient, and more economical. Alright, I want to give a special thanks to Bulex who provided me this air unit in exchange for a review, and in this video, we're going to talk about what these HEPA-rated filters can filter out, what kind of dust particles, can they filter out gases, can they filter out smoke, all that fun stuff. Also, I'll give you a quick history lesson on how these air purifiers came to be. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so I got my smartphone. There's a lot of great information about how these air purifiers came to be. So in the early 18th century, it's basically the coal-based industrial revolution. Basically everything was ran on coal, and unfortunately coal provides a lot of smoke and it's not great for the person's health when they breathe it in. So they demanded a way to help filter out the smoke. So there was a British inventor by the name of Charles Anthony Denny who in 1823 invented a respirator, which was like a helmet, basically helped factor or filter out the coal, but it wasn't very economical because it was kind of big and cumbersome. So in 1854, John Steenson developed a coal-based respirator, and in 1840, they invented the true HEPA-rated filter, which we see today. So basically what HEPA filters can do is filter out particles as small as 0.3 microns. Alright, let's go and check out what a filter looks like, and we'll use this unit as a demonstration. Units are pretty plain looking, nothing really to them, but if you notice underneath, there's actually a little base. All you have to do is just screw it off and pull out the filter. So here's a look at the filter. This is a 4-in-1 HEPA filter system. It's a charcoal based, but it's very cool. You can see the fins, and these guys usually have to be replaced every 3 to 6 months depending on years. And the unit itself is very simple. You may notice that there's actually a fan or impeller here, and it's fairly quiet. So most of these units are very similar in terms of design. They may add additional features like Wi-Fi control, UV lights, but for the most part, the principles are very similar. Let's talk about what particles these HEPA filters can filter out. So you're probably wondering, what in the world does HEPA stand for? Is this some fancy marketing term? Actually, HEPA stands for High Efficiency Particle Air or High Efficiency Particulate Arrest. Yeah, crazy naming conventions, but that's basically what it means. So HEPA-rated filters are designed to capture particles as small as 0.3 microns or anything bigger than that. Also, they're great for smog. So basically the smoke that comes out of your cars or from cigarette smoke, it's highly recommended you have a HEPA filter machine because it can actually filter out those harmful large particles that can get into your lungs. But keep in mind that these filters are designed for the chemical-based substances. So all the chemicals that are in the cigarette smoke or all the VOCs is what they like to call it, these guys will not filter out, so you still have the odor, you still be able to smell that. So that's just something to consider when getting these HEPA-rated filters. Okay, so the next thing that these guys can filter out really well is pollen. So you've been sneezing a lot in the summertime or the spring where all your plants are out, well, you can blame them because they create all the pollen. So pollens are usually around 10 microns, where these guys are designed for 0.3 microns or larger, so 10 times less. So they do a really good job with the pollen particles. One downside with pollen is they tend to float down to the bottom of onto your floors, your surfaces, since they're very large, and you'll still need to get the Swiffer out because these guys can't pull the pollen away if they're on the ground or something. So speaking of dust, that's another thing that these guys are really good at filtering out, but keep in mind, dust is a large particle. Again, they will settle down to the ground. Once they do that, you're going to have to pull out your roll-out vacuum or your Swiffer to pick up the dust since they won't be able to pull it from the ground. But if they're in the air, these HEPA-rated air filters are able to capture the dust particles. Okay, let's talk about the stuff that these days cannot filter out. So basically chemicals, whether it be your cigarette smoke, the air fresheners, or even like the paint fumes after you've just painted a fresh wall. You still be able to smell those chemicals. Also, they'll still be in the air since the chemicals are way too small. Those are the VOCs. So these cannot factor out or filter out the VOCs. So that's a very important factor when considering buying these HEPA-rated filter systems. Okay, so another thing that these HEPA filters can't really filter out is viruses. They're just way too small. They're way beyond the 0.3 microns or even 0.1 microns. Also, I know that some companies are adding additional layers to their filters, like pre-filters. They're using carbon filters or charcoal filters. But even then, these viruses are really hard to capture, so I wouldn't rely on this 100%. So let's go ahead and go over the operation of this air filter. It's a pretty simple operation, and it doesn't take much to get started. So if you consider buying one, they're pretty easy to operate, just press it once to turn it on. Now off to the right there's your fan speed. You actually have 3 different levels plus the night mode. I actually appreciate the night mode because it really makes the unit very quiet during the nighttime. You also have the scheduling, which you could do 2 hours, 4 hours, or even 8 hours. So the unit will shut off once it's done with the timer. And lastly, you can turn off the blue indicator, and there's a reset filter reminder. So every 3 to 6 months, they recommend to change out the filter. I really like these guys in the garage and also my bathrooms where there's a lot of dust. Well, let's go and wrap up this video. So thanks so much for my viewers, subscribers, and likes. You guys are awesome. Couldn't make this channel possible without you guys, so bravo. Also, I want to give thanks to Bulex for sending me out this unit. You guys are awesome. One thing to remember is they are providing a $38 coupon down below. I believe it's like a one-day special at the time of making this video, so hurry if you want to get one of these. Try it out. See if these are actually worth the price. Alright, so I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. See you later.